Hello, hello, lovely YouTube watchers. How are you all doing out there today? Let me know how you're getting on. Let me know what you think about my last readings. Any feedback? Happy to have a little chat about it. Feel free to leave me a comment or two. And definitely like and subscribe if you can. Now, I've dragged out the tiger's eye. I know this looks like a heart shape, but it isn't. It's just sort of like a weird triangle. It's not quite triangular and it's not quite heart shaped. Can you see it's trying to be heart shape, tiger's eye, and this one is actually a heart shape, but it's not quite a tiger's eye. So we've got two mismatched pieces that are probably going to make one perfect little stone. If we took the shape of this one and the pattern of this one and put them together, they would be a perfect heart shaped tiger's eye. This tiger's eye, this is my new stone that's arrived through the post. Isn't it gorgeous? You know, it means warrior, apparently. That's what the makers of this stone and the preparers of this stone have given this style of stone, the tiger's eye. They're calling it the warrior. Now this as in a spiritual fighter, not warrior as in person who overthinks too much. Now this one is the little pointed double end. I would say that is more of a fighter than a lover, isn't it? Because of the straightness and the pointed edges. You know, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to have a look at this archetype card, the vow, and you can see there just from the imagery the ties that bind, and it's a promise that's made, that's a spiritual promise. It's a vow in the eyes of spirit. I'm going to read the book and we're going to learn about this, and then I'm going to open all the tarot cards. I'm going to create some piles that match these little stones, and then you're going to have 4 readings to choose from, although quite possibly maybe that should be one and those 2 make one. This is the vow. There's somebody who's looking at this vow because they're wondering if a vow should be broken. That's often the dilemma, isn't it, for people who have made a vow or people who are thinking about making a vow, whether or not it's okay to break it or keep it, or what they should do. It's very confusing, isn't it, once you've made a vow which you consider to be spiritually bound. The only vows that need to be kept which are spiritually bound are those that the love is still there. Vows that are made accidentally or with people who aren't kind, people who are cruel, people who are in abusive relationships, that vow doesn't need to be kept. Okay, let's have a look at this book. The promise, the oath, the contract. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten, so breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow we are living by, consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. Bearing witness to the shift towards destiny. Okay, so it's like making a commitment. Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we are in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and anything is possible. Okay, ritual. Now, dear lovely people, you're so patient with me with my tarot readings. Thank you still for being here, but I have got timestamps, so if you want to skip forward to your reading, that you feel free to do that. Now, the idea of commitment and vows and ritual, I was thinking about funerals. You know, the ritual of funerals, when people pass on, it is like a form of, I mean, obviously funerals mean different things to different people, and not everyone wants a funeral or needs a funeral or feels like, why would you encourage the hypocrisy of people who weren't nice to you when you were on the planet to then suddenly, you know, look at you once you're dead as if you were perfect? Because that is what tends to happen when people die. When people pass on, people go, oh, they were lovely, they were the best person, they were the nicest person, right? And it's not true. Often it's not true. Of course it can't be true. We're humans, we're not here to be perfect. Some of us might try and improve how we are being as a person while we're here, but no one is perfect, are they? We live, we breathe, we die. We experience our life, our pattern of life. We have our personality within it. Some of us have more personality traits to improve on or change than others. Some of us have more life challenges and life patterns to get over than others. Now I'm just putting that little angel card on the vow because it is the last. Yeah, that one feels like the signature. I knew it felt different. I'm taking that one off as well. I'm just putting this angel card with the vow because it's the last of those 5 angel cards. They're all out now, those angel cards. The ones that had words on them. They've been relatively new to me. And how I work is I get the new cards, I do a reading for each of the new cards, and then those cards become part of my old gang. And then once I've done a reading, knowing that I've used every single card in the pack, I then put them back in. And we start shuffling them, and then it's just randomly what shows up. So these angel cards, this is their first outing on my readings. I'm going back to talking about commitment and promises because it's a very strong subject for people. Some people take promises and vows from their soul, and some people say words which are meaningless. They might as well be mouthing them. They have so little intention behind them of following through on their promises that they may as well not have said them, right? Because we are all different, and it's learning. Part of life's learning process is knowing who to trust with a commitment. Are you both making an equal amount of commitment to whatever the project is? Doesn't matter whether it's a lifelong commitment or just a small project from now, or a job, or some way of trusting another human. We have to learn how to recognise which people take their vows and promises and commitments seriously, and which people can just drop other humans at drop of a hat. You know, which people have empathy for how other people are feeling and which people don't. And I guess that's what these readings are going to be about, is the promises that other people are making to you. Because people who make promises and know how to stick to them, I don't know why I'm putting that one over there by accident, so I'm going to carry on with that and stick it there. Tend not to look at tarot readings to see if the other person is going to renege on the deal, as it were, right? So it's also about trust and truth. Because before I opened these cards, I was looking at the archetype cards and seeing, now which one of these archetype cards has the question of truth running through it? Like, which one means truth? And there are a few cards in there which can't be construed or misunderstood as to anything but truth. But the vow struck me as being one that I wanted to look at today, because truth is a broken promise, is truth betrayed, isn't it? So when you've had a promise made to you and someone's promised to do whatever it is that they've promised to do, and then they don't do it, those words that they spoke were a truth that they had the power to break and betray. So it is about lying, and it is about truth. And it's such an interesting subject, isn't it, the truth? I mean, you think about the the legals and people that go to court to figure out what the truth is. And nowadays people say, well, it's my truth. This is my truth. I'm telling my truth, and you've got a right to tell your truth. Well, is that true? Is that a thing where the elements and energies running through one human being is real, and the elements and energies of beliefs and feelings running through another human being, that's also real? Surely somewhere in the middle where they have to meet, there's a truth of the matter, right? Getting to the heart of the matter and the truth of the matter, and the vow, and how to deal with broken promises, and how to recognise when a promise is being broken, and how to recognise where you're being lied to. Because some people use lying as a way to function in the world. That's it. They think that's all you've got to do. You just say what you want. It doesn't matter that it has no meaning behind it. Just say what you want. Do what you want. Just tell them what they want to hear, and then go and do what you want. Right, it seems like a strategy. It's not a bad strategy if you're trying to get away with something, or you just can't be bothered, or you've got no emotional connection with the person that you're dealing with, because that's all you're doing. You're just dealing with them. Then you're not engaged in any form of commitment, right? And it must be very confusing for people who are trusting everyone that what they say is the truth. And this is what I'm asking of these cards for these readings. Dear guardian angels, these are the cards that give you the answer. These ones, okay? This is the part you can't see. This is the downside to your seeking of the truth, the vow. Sometimes also, I don't know whether you believe this or not, about the karma. Thinking about the karmic contracts we make with people before we're born. That's a fascinating subject, isn't it? Just know, okay, there is no contract on earth that you can make with another human being that you have to stick to if it's causing you suffering, okay? And there's no force on earth that can make another person stick to their commitment with you if they don't want to. You know, and the harsh part about this is that people's feelings can change. So one year they might feel like they're going to be committed to you for life. This is it. This is a lifelong commitment. This is what I want to do. And then you get to know each other a bit, and suddenly that's not quite so appealing, and they change that. So let's do this for. There's going to be one of these is going to be a marriage question, okay? Because there's people that watch these little cards that have questions. And if you're one of those people, let me know what your question is, and I will open the cards for you for your question, okay? Now, the vow. The vow. So, this vow is whatever we want to talk about. This vow is whatever we want to make it. Spiritual vows, when two people are spiritually bonded together, are much harder to break because you've both got that belief that this is worth doing. I will always be guided by this angel as she keeps my spirit playful and energised. That's exciting. Okay, playful and energised, that's our guidance for today. Now, I'm just going to unpack these readings and see what comes up, and I'm going to do them for once in the order that I've put them out. I'm going to do the little pointy one first, because this is the sharpest one. So it feels like this person is in a black and white situation. It's very, very clear already what's happened. I know I am loved because this angel harnesses my power to believe in myself always. Okay, and that's another thing. When we make commitments to other people, it is almost like we're giving our power away to other people, isn't it? We do tend to become two halves of a one rather than be two whole people and then join together with another whole person, and that becomes two people side by side. This card suggests to me there's a person who has already given away half their soul to another person. Wholeness, yes, perfect. Isn't that perfect? What an absolute perfect card reading for that, as a reminder to be whole, to fill yourself up, to fill your void up, to fill up how you feel about yourself so that you are a complete person. So there's areas about you and what you're doing and how you're feeling that isn't ready for a vow. That a person that's feeling like that isn't in a place to make a vow that doesn't depend on the other person. So there's an element of codependency coming up here. Horse, freedom, oh my goodness. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength, and you follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. You first. In this little reading, you first, not you second. Let's try, oh look, the Lovers. Do you know what that means? It's a choice. Often you have a choice to stay or go. Ace of Pentacles. The money is a big issue. But the Magician says you've got everything in your power to be able to create your new world. I'm so sorry about this, you poor little dear person. This is great sadness and unhappiness about the situation. But there's the Death card that says the situation will end if you want it to. And there's you being happier on your own. Okay, so if you're making a question as to whether you should stay or go, there's a little bit of travelling there that says it's time to go and find new happiness elsewhere. And this is what you're scared of, the aloneness of it. This is what's holding you back, is the fear of being alone. And the answer in these cards is you're not alone. There's nothing to be scared of being alone, because being alone gives you a chance to make yourself whole, to heal yourself, heal who you are, heal from the experience that you've just had, and moving into your own happiness of your choosing. Okay, so there's going to be other opportunities for you, and it's this feeling that you live on your own is going to be miserable. A, it's not going to be miserable because you're going to be happier on your own. You're better off being on your own than being with the wrong person. And B, you're not going to be on your own for long because there's other opportunities coming to you. And being scared of the aloneness means you're missing what you actually get from being alone. Because when you're on your own, you get to learn who you are, you get to learn what you like, you get to appreciate and feel a contentedness of a full heart. So I'm sorry, dear lovely person watching this. It's had sadness and pain, and it's scary, of course it's scary. But you're not the first person to have walked that path. And this is the point of the archetypes, isn't it? There are many, many people who have found themselves in the situation that you found yourself. Question for yourself is, how did you find yourself in that situation? What was your vulnerability when you were approached by that person? Because being on your own will give you a chance to heal that. And instead of looking at what was wrong with you, right, you can look at, how did that person exploit what was wrong with you? How did that person exploit your weakness in order to reel you in? Whose fault is that? It's no one's fault, it's just how it was. So you're the person that now knows, hold on, you deserved better, right? And this is why you're asking the question about walking away. Because deep down you know that there's more for you and that you deserve better. You don't know how to get it yet, but one step at a time you keep moving forward and you will find something better for yourself. Thanks ever so much for watching. Let me know if any of that resonates with you. Bye for now. Now, I was going to read these cards in the order that they come up, but I've got a feeling these two with the hearts are going to be more broken promises. This one, I think, can handle the truth. Hopefully this one can handle the truth. The vow. Again, we're still here with this question of promises and this question of spiritual connection. And my question was really, is when is it okay to break a vow? And the answer it's okay to break a vow if you're being treated badly and you're being held more of a prisoner rather than a mutually committed, bonded person. Yeah, if you're happy in the commitment that you're in, then you stay in it. But if you're not happy, you've got every right to release that vow and undo it. Okay, it won't be forgotten that you've done this, of course not. But the words, you have the power in the words, and you have the free will to make choices. You have the freedom of your words to choose who you and how you want to be committed on this planet while you're here. this little rock here, which looks to me like an absolute solid rock, it looks to me like you are the person that is capable of making a solid vow and sticking to it, come hell or high water, I was going to say, but thick or thin, no matter what happens, you are going to be there, okay? Shining the light for other people, which is amazing, which leads me to believe that the question here that you've got is around unhappiness from within the same contract. I show love to this angel by thanking my celestial guides for taking care of me. Dear guardian angel, thank you ever so much for allowing us this reading, and please allow the right words to flow through me that do justice to this person's spiritual experience, because this is not an easy experience. This person who's having to be this giant rock for everyone else. Oh, the white stallion, that's a symbol of freedom and strength from peace. You know, when, because there's another one that's the black stallion, that's the strength from fighting. This little white horse reminds you that the power of peace is just as strong as the power of wielding a stick, and the dash for freedom is always available to you. And there's also this bird of flight here that is a symbol of love and peace, but also reminds me of a broken vow and a bid for freedom. Everyone's got the right to be free, okay? Oh, and the cat's independent. Again, story unfolding here that there's a person who's in this vow that's wondering actually might be better if they'd be on their own. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd, and life supports you in every way. Okay, so if you're feeling weighed down by this vow that you've made, know that you've got a choice to let it go if you want. The movie tarot, judgment. Okay, judgment. There is no judgment. No one's going to judge you for what you do apart from you. You are your worst judge. You are your biggest critic. King of Cups. Oh, that's a very powerful card. It's emotional depth. It's a person's deep feelings. And the Knight of Cups as well. Okay. Oh, the Tower. That's the change of everything, the move. You see these stark barbs. Well, we've also got these stark barbs coming out of a reverse tower, haven't we? We've got a Prince of Pentacles. So it is other people that's stopping you from moving forward. The Nine of Wands. And you've got this Seven of Wands. So you have a lot of choices in your little world. It's not like you're stuck. Uh-oh. Look at this. Projections are in reverse. Now, let me just talk a little bit about projections, because it could be coming from someone else because it's upside down. So it's other people are seeing you not how you are, they're seeing you how they are. And that always causes problems and can be very unpleasant, because it's like they look at you and they accuse you of doing all sorts of things that you haven't done, and you're left, what? Absolutely nonplussed, because you know the unfairness of this. But rather than keeping it on them and saying, what are you talking about? You're the person that does that. You've actually spent some time absorbing what they've said and taking it on board, so you believe what they've said about you, and on one part of you knows it's not true, but you still feel a need to justify what you've said and done. And on the other hand, you think maybe it is true, and then you take a look at yourself and then you start questioning yourself. Okay, so there's an element of that gaslighting business, you know, where people start manipulating your mind. It's not a very pleasant, really not a pleasant experience to have had. I'm so sorry, dear person who is experiencing this pain of having other people's stuff dumped on them. And that is why we've got such a big rock here, I think, for this reading. It's because this person is carrying a lot of weight from other people's baggage. So you're carrying other people's baggage and other people's ideas of you, which aren't yours to carry. Now the answer to this, dear lovely person, and this is the hard work, because you can't change what they do. You can't educate them about what they're doing. You can say to them, you know, you do that, right? They won't sink in. It won't even touch the sides for them, because they're so hard-headed and they're so certain that their opinion looking at you is real. They believe what they're saying. Now you know that what they're saying isn't true, okay? And here we're back to this truth again. But you can't educate them, because what they're believing is so deep-rooted. It's like they've got these spiritual beliefs in their own sense of... It's a bit entitled, actually. There's a bit of entitlement gone on here, that they believe that their mind is right and you need to be different for your own good. Nothing could be further from the truth, okay? There's nothing wrong with you, but in order to change them or to improve what they do, it takes a lot of time and patience and energy, and may not even happen in this lifetime. So the question you've got is, if you've made a vow to a person like this, who believes that they know what's best for you and they know what you should be doing and they can see everything wrong with what you're doing, and they paint the picture of you as being less than them, right, because they're in a position of superiority over you. I know this is really probably hard to hear, because as much as you love them and you worship them and you really want to stick to your vows and you want to be with them, the truth of this is it's not doing you any good. And the longer it goes on, the harder it's going to be for you to come to terms with and undoing the damage that they've done. Because people who have got this thought process and this mentality, they can literally cause so much psychic damage to the other person, because they cause you problems then in your own belief about yourself. You start questioning your own judgment, you start questioning yourself, you don't believe your own judgment, you give your judgment over to someone else, you think they know better than you, and that's not true. And then you start judging yourself harshly, so then you're both doing it, so they're judging you, you're judging you. You have got the power to change this and to recognise that sometimes this breaking this vow when you've got this going on is the best thing for you. Okay? This other person isn't gonna change. They're not gonna suddenly become empathic and suddenly recognise what they've done, because that's their mindset. Their mind is stuck in, I know what I'm talking about, I'm right, I'm dealing with facts here and you're not right, because they can't quantify and understand emotional states and feelings and inner worlds that people, sensitive humans, have. Not everyone has it. Not everyone is a sensitive human. That's what you have to remember, okay? Some people really aren't sensitive people, and not saying it's their fault. I don't know if they're born like it, or it's the way they've been brought up, or how they've been conditioned when they were very young. But you could look at them like they're the damaged one, actually. And the damage that they're doing by being like that, they will never understand that or agree with it, because they can't see the damage. They think the damage is all over on this side, and they're just pointing it out, not realising that by doing that, they're creating more damage. Okay, thanks for watching, dear lovely YouTube person. Let me know if any of that makes sense for you. Bye for now. Okay, so the last two readings, which are probably going to be about heartbreak. I might start renaming this channel 10 Minute Tarot, because it takes me about 10 minutes to do a tarot reading. It takes me about half an hour to do the pole shuffling, another 15 minutes to have a little chat. Now, these two nearly heart-shaped, nearly tiger's eye stones. Which one do I want to do? The Mis-shapen heart or the superficial one? I'm going to do the superficial one first, right? I'm not saying you're superficial, dear lovely person, but for a person who's chosen the heart that looks nice over the Mis-shapen heart, let's have a little look at what's happened here. I will summon this angel by practicing my meditation and yoga flows in the light of the sun. Dreamtime. Oh, Dreamtime's lovely. I've noticed there's a lot of blue. I mean, I know there is always a lot of blue when you get healing cards. It seems to be one of the favourite colours. Dear and love, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Okay, so there's a little reminder here to look at what's on the inside and not look at what's on the outside. What's on the outside isn't as important as what's on the inside. There you go, let me put that little heart there. Healing hands on the heart. Your self-worth is more important than how you look. Okay? The Hanged Man, that's time waiting. Time waiting. Oh, beautiful. The Sun, that's the most positive card out of all these packs. Six of Pentacles, that's harmony with money. That's a lovely card as well. Reverse Death, which means beginning something new. When one thing ends, something new begins. And I don't believe from these cards that this is death of a relationship. This is death of what you believe about yourself and healing the relationship you've got with yourself. Because this Sun person is worshipping the sun and recognising that the exterior light shines on everyone and glows on everyone and everything that it shines on in your inner world. Princess of Swords. Five of Chalices. Look at this little person on her own, just in her own little world. In nature. One's got a bird of prey and one's got a rabbit. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the person on the outside, looking in at the other people, enjoying themselves, like the inner child that needs healing? So this is the child there, looking at these people, apparently having a beautiful life, a Nine of Wands, and having everything they want, right? This person's got no idea what goes on for these two people. And this card reading is asking you not to compare your life with other people's apparent happiness, okay? The shallowness of just looking at the external isn't enough for you to be able to have a satisfying relationship. It's not just about what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside, okay? Beautiful. I love this little green card. Look at it. It matches the green card of the spirit animals. And it's the courage card. So you've got the courage to be the little flower that breaks through the concrete. So no matter what, this is what I'm asking you to do, is to look at who you are, look at how you look and recognise the uniqueness of yourself. Because this little flower that's poking through, it doesn't matter if it hasn't got perfect petals, it doesn't matter if it hasn't got as many petals as the one that's come before, it doesn't matter that it's got a crooked leaf or that its leaves aren't perfect. What matters is how it feels about its own growth. Because other people will love that flower. Some people will just trample all over it, some people will ignore it, some people won't even notice it. But there'll be a person out there who to that flower, everything is their world. Like, that is their world, that flower. You know, as a person, there's someone out there for you who you are their everything. And it doesn't matter how you look to you. What matters is how someone else sees you, because your perceptions of how you are being, how you are looking, is irrelevant. It's how you're being. Because a person with depth of commitment cares about your feelings, they care about who you are as a person, they don't care about your fringe being lopsided. Look at this person looks beautiful, but she's still got lopsided fringe. Like, if someone wants to criticise you for how you look, there's something wrong with that person doing the criticising. It's just an opinion, it's just an observation that's coming from a place of a person who wants to criticise, right? Another person looks at that and says, this is the most beautiful person in the world and I wish my hair was like that, and I would love to be with somebody who's got hair like that. Or whatever it is on the external that you feel is not perfect. We're not put on the planet to be perfect. We're not. And it's our imperfections that make us really unique, isn't it? You know, it's honestly, it's what makes us attractive to other people. Because if we were all the same, what would be the point? If we all had perfect figures and we all had perfect bank balances and we all had perfect houses to live in, we would be just robots. We wouldn't be human. Part of the human experience is to accept who you are, and that's a part of massive spiritual growth. Not who you are on the outside. That's not your first point of call. It's who you are as a person on the inside. How loving can you be? Because this person might look lovely, but she's absolutely not loving at all, or kind, or pleasant to be around in any way. This person, she's loving, kind, being nice in nature. The animals trust her because they sense her vibrations coming off her are good and kind. And this reading is just reminding you that all that glitters is not gold, and to look at what's on the inside. And that, again, that is when you're thinking about a vow and the person that you're committed to, look at who they are as a person, not how they look, not what financial situation they're in, not what they do for a job, not who they are in the role of their family, but who they are as a person. Okay, so whatever it is that's important to you, that's attracted to you, that person, make sure that is part of that person, not just something on the outside that can change like that, and then you're left with the person who is actually there that you're thinking about making this commitment to, or you're still making a commitment to. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now. Right, and finally, little Mis-shapen heart. Mis-shapen heart, what is your question about the vow? I summon this angel tonight by drifting into a deep slumber where they're waiting for me. Okay, so you've got angels who are waiting to have a little conversation with you in your sleep. Sorry, I put that one on the top because it's the one we're doing the reading for. Your angels know that you need some help. Oh, lovely. Awareness. Oh, this is fantastic. I love the awareness card. Okay, so dear Mis-shapen heart, know that your heart has been battered and bruised, but it's increased your awareness. You don't need me to tell you that because you're already aware. Oh, look at this elephant. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem, and you will naturally and easily achieve success. There you go. That's the price you pay for having a damaged heart, for being battered and bruised. You are now stronger. So your heart might not look perfect or how people expect a heart to look, but it's strong now. It's absolutely strong and can cope with the next thing that comes with it. Okay, so there's your battle scars, and there's been a few of them. There's a few paths you've taken which have taken you off the straight and narrow and have led to some very dark, miserable, confusing times. But now, the price that you've paid, that was the price you pay for having a heart that knows. You've got a knowing heart. You've got to trust your heart. That's what this reading is saying. There's a page of coins. There's the 10 of wands. Wanting things to be different and knowing that you can change it, but you've got to be prepared for yet another haul, another long haul. 3 of wands. You have the power to make a change. Excellent. The moon, reversed moon. Queen of cups. Trust your heart and your instincts are good. You don't have to worry about your heart, your instincts. 9 of pentacles. That's being happy in the work that you do and having a happy home life. That's the goal for you. But here's the witch on her own, wrapped up in her own thoughts, because she's not certain. She's not certain about her judgment. She's not certain about her own ability to know what is the right thing to do. And this card, the harmony card, the spiritual card, the awareness card, this is telling you do, and asking you to have faith and belief in what you've learned. Okay, so you've had all this experience that's leading you to a new option. Now the moon comes up when a person does need to do the introspection. Often they need counselling that can help. Now I'd never say don't go for counselling. If you want to go for counselling, go for counselling. But when it comes up reversed, it says you've already done the work, you've done the introspection, you know who you are, you know what you think, you know what you want. You know what you want. Now for you, you know what you want, but you're not sure if you can handle the journey. Okay, and I'm here to tell you that you can, because elephants handle long, long journeys. They know where they're going. They've got this inner knowing and this guidance that takes them where they need to go. Now, the vow for you comes from this spiritual journey that you've embarked on while you're here. You are one of these people that chose this before you got here. Now you're here. You're like, oh my God, I wouldn't have chosen this because it's so hard. But before you got here, your spirit guide said to you, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because that's too hard. You can't have all that at once. And you were determined, no, I can cope with this. I'm having all of that. And they went, okay then. But because of that, they're still with you. They're still guiding you, knowing that there are times when you're going to need extra support and help to get through these stages that you thought looked easy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it does always look easy from the outside, doesn't it? It's like when you look at someone else's life and you're like, looking at this person, you think, well, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem there? I can't see it myself. Look, she's got everything she needs. She's got all the resources. She knows where she's going. She's got support. All she has to do is pick up her bag and go. Simple. And that hard work and effort leads to what she wants. A nice home life, happy, harmony. She's going to have what she wants and what she needs. But in the meantime, she's here doubting this. And she's like, oh no, I'm just not sure. I don't know if I can handle this anymore because I've been through so much grief and heartache. I can't do another thing. But then at the same time, what I'm currently doing isn't making me happy. I'm not satisfied. So should I be making the changes? And this is the question you've got. This commitment, you've got to ask your spiritual self, your higher guidance, say, lead me to the right path. Show me the signs of how to get to where I want to go. Relieve me of doubt. So if you sit in meditation, this is the doubt, that you've got the doubt about what you're doing. And this is the dissatisfaction, and you're wondering why you should be dissatisfied with this situation because it's much better than situations you've had in the past. But deep down you know the answer to this already. You know you're not satisfied. That's why you're asking the question. But you do need to get in touch with your higher self and your guidance to recognise where you're not trusting your instincts. So you've got inner instincts, you know what is right for you on the inside, but because of all this past drama that you've had and this pain, you're not trusting your own instincts as much as you could. So you've lost faith in your own ability to trust in the universe and trust that the right thing is going to happen because you've had so much pain in the past, which is it's just hard work. To look at that makes me exhausted. I feel really exhausted with it all for you. But at the same time, I know that you've got this really strong intuition and you're capable of doing this because you've done it before. You can do it again. Now, who this page of coins is, I don't know. What is this page of coins? Is this news about money? You're waiting for some news about money. There's going to be an issue around the money, and the changes is going to lead to a more harmonious situation. It's the best I can come up with for the Nine of Pentacles, because the Nine is usually being really happy about something, and the Queen of Cups is having that emotional stability no matter what. That's what I'm picking up here, is that no matter what, stick to your heart feelings of happiness, aim for happiness, but at the same time know that happiness doesn't come from the outside. But with all these battle scars you've got, I don't need to tell you that. I know that you already know that. What you have got is a scarred heart. So the heart that needs to tell you where to go and what to do is now scarred. So any information that runs through your heart has to get through those barriers before you can trust it. And the barriers, the scar tissue is so strong that sometimes the feelings and the thoughts can't get through because they're just stuck on, oh God, do you remember the time that happened? I'm not doing that again. Or do you remember that? Yeah, look what happened when I did that. So if you're plagued with these thoughts like, well, it didn't happen in the past. So if you're plagued with these thoughts like, yeah, but look what happened last time I did that, then that's the work to do with the counselling, because you are not the person now that made those decisions before. But I feel like this person has got enough heightened awareness to recognise when the blockage is within them. They know it's their own heart that's holding them back. but they also know that they're acting with more caution than they ever used to act with because of what's happened in the past. Okay, so what's the answer here? The answer is trust your intuition, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to your thoughts, and know that you can do this if you want to. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.